Now, right away. Now,
Yeah,
how come I? So,
I got it. It says
Yes.
but can I do close-ups so I can see something? Nothing. So this is all I can do is literally just stand here and just do this. No, but what about when I?
Stop, and just press this.
Hi everyone.
All right. We are here at me wifey's training course. As you see, this is fun. Everybody's got the bike set up. Everyone's getting ready to go. What are your thoughts as we begin?
I'm nervous, but you know what? This is something I always wanted to do, so I'm happy that I could be able to do this, and I hope I inspire others who may feel like this is not for me, but it's always something extra to be able to do. Actually, in the event, like if something happens to Mark, I can help him on the road. So it's always good to, just to be prepared. And that's the reason why I'm doing this. So wish me all the best.
Right.
What do you have to say?
I say, and as we like to say, let's keep it real.
Let's keep it real. So
Alright, so come back over here. I'll put you on the side of the bike. Together with your back brake. Use both at the same time to come to a complete stop. Make sense? Alright, so there's a couple of things that we will be harping on all weekend, which are just our safety stuff. It is on your M2 test with shoulder checks and stuff like that. So that we do all weekend. And we start here with our first lesson. Okay? So
in this clip, the instructor is demonstrating how to get on the motorcycle from the left side by holding the front handlebars and ensuring the front brake is secure. Then swing the right leg over the seat and sit with both legs secured on the ground. Then release the kickstand before moving off. As we watch the instructor on the bike and thinking about what the day would be like when we start riding, many of us were nervous, knowing that we are there for everyone to see if we made mistakes or if we did it right. I, for one, was very nervous, and I was very hesitant as to whether or not I would do well. And I'm more of a perfectionist, so of course, while I stand there, I was thinking of how I will actually do in terms of the performance throughout the day after each instruction was given. So it was something that I was very apprehensive about and also hesitant to actually get on the bike and to do that which I was being instructed to do. So you will see as we go along how I perform, but at this point in time, I was very, very nervous, and I don't think I heard everything that was said in the instruction, because after we started doing the exercises, I realized that I did not hear everything because I was so caught up in my head, as they did say, that I was thinking a lot about what I was told in opposed to just doing it. So this is something that you will notice as I go from here. Nice to see the diversity of people that were there on the spot learning how to ride a motorcycle. And some people, like I mentioned later on in the video, they already had dirt bike experiences, so they were really good at what they do. But sometimes, even though people who have previous experiences might seem like they're doing very well, but because you might have certain bad habits with regards to other kind of riding, like as I said, with dirt bikes, you can't ride the same way you do on a motorcycle, so it is totally different. And also, you could see that there were different people from different nationalities, different walks of life. We had people who were there, like we had two brothers that were there. We had a JP that was there. We had 3 ladies, we had the rest, I think, were males, different kind of people. And the mix was really good because the bunch, they were so helpful. Everybody was just thinking about each other, and there was a definite camaraderie there. And you can definitely see why there is a camaraderie even on the road when people are riding. So it was a really good opportunity to be among those who were there to learn how to ride and to help each other out as we were being in a course when in fact we didn't even know each other prior to getting there. The first thing we must remember when we get on the bike is hold the front brake, swing your leg over, and then this kickstand goes left. Sitting on these bikes with the kickstand down destroys the stand, and the stand is not designed to support our weight. So make sure you let go of the front brake, which gives us full control of the handlebars. The safest position on the motorcycle is when the left leg is on the floor and the right leg is on the rear back brake. Even when bumped, the rider is secure. Another thing that helps with the rear back brake being on is that when the light is on, it increases the visibility to motors behind. And this is important for us as riders to be in the ready position. So this is a good practice to train riders, and it's basically a muscle memory response. So when in a ready position is good for when you're stopped at all times, whether you're at the lights, whether you come to a complete stop in the case of an emergency or whatever the case may be. So this is very important. The first step to moving forward before we start off is making sure that you look over both shoulders. So the first thing that they would say is do a shoulder check. So look to the left, look to the right, and make sure that you don't see anything coming. So we were able to perform this first exercise in order to understand what we need to do when we're moving off. And so the trainers demonstrated this exercise. The next thing was to learn how to release the rear brake, then switch to the peg. This is when we're ready to take off. So we do not release the rear brake unless we're ready to take off. Before we're being pushed, as in the case where we were practicing moving off, we release the rear brake, then switch to the peg, and so we were able to move off. Another thing the trainer was demonstrating is our body position on the bike. If our body is more concentrated on the rear, then we do not have full control of the bike. Our legs are not in the right position. So when we lean a little bit more forward into the pocket of the bike, then we are able to hold the bike with our legs, and so our legs won't be wobbly, getting all crazy as we ride. Before we learn how to ride, we also have to remember that we always get on the motorcycle on the kickstand side. So each bike is different. Get to know your bike and make sure you know which side the kickstand is on, and practice to get on the bike on the side where the kickstand is. And of course, learn how to release the kickstand once you sit on the bike. In this exercise, we had to learn what to do when we're being pushed. So when we're being pushed, our eyes must be up and forward. So we should not be looking down, because wherever we look, that's where the bike is going to go. Once we were pushed, we had to learn how to stop and brake with the front and rear brake. So we cannot just use the front or else we'll fall over. So we use our rear brake as well simultaneously, and then we get back to ready position when we stop. The instructor was very instrumental in ensuring that we understand the process of when we are going to move off, that we're looking over both shoulders. And at all times, if we're looking over both shoulders, we make sure that there's no obstruction coming along our way before we move off. At the same time, once we come to a complete stop, we have to ensure that we're looking over both shoulders again. This is key to ensure that nobody is coming around us, because as a motorcycle rider, you're prone to be hit and to be unseen, and so you have to ensure that you are looking around you constantly. And this was not only in our theory but in our practice, in our days courses.
Get used to where your brakes are. They're different on every bike. So if you're going down the lane the first time and you grab too much front brake because you don't know the bike yet and it jolts you a little bit, don't worry about it. That's why we don't have them started. We're getting used to where everything is and how strong your brakes are on both sides, right? Any questions? So we will go to our bikes. We'll have our gear on and done up. We're gonna get down. Both together. Yeah. And remember that your front one's stronger than your rear. So you'll want to push down harder on your rear and pull the front wheel. Yeah. Alright, we ready? Ready? They're all ready. They're all in there ready. I'll start at the end. Sure. You're going to push all of them? If you want to push, you can push. I can watch too.
We should have 2 people down there.
Otherwise, it's going to take a long time. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Ready?
Wow, are you just coming back from Alaska? Turn it around. Don't drop it. There you go. Good job, honey.
Yeah? Yeah.
Up where you want to go.
Yeah.
Eyes are up. Nice little break.
Are you from Hamilton?
Nope.
Where are you from?
Chatham.
Oh, you guys look familiar.
Really?
Yes, you do look. I think I know everybody, but your just face looks from. What do you do for a living?
Just the piece.
Okay, definitely not me.
Nice.
I drive trucks, so I just.
Hopefully you haven't seen me.
No, yeah, I know. There you go. A JP, there we go. Not in Chatham, not yet. God willing, never.
Pushing?
Oh, will you look? It's really annoying. I'm ready, Tim, go. Well, when he's ready, I'll be careful yourself.
Do it again?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. You guys up. Stop that. Stop yeah, the drop will come in down.
That was better than the last one.
Yell that one. Nice. Yes. And it leans to the left when you stop. You were looking at me. Right? If I was standing on that side, I got that. All right, ready? All right, pal. Relax. All right, eyes are up. Look where you want to go. Eyes up, eyes up, eyes up.
I think she's riding her brake.
Probably.
That's just a little too much contact. That's what I'm doing.
When I did mine, there was like 22 people. That's crazy like that, or 18 people. I don't remember. Oh, shit.
I do my shoulder check. I'm taking a foot off the rear brake. Say I'm ready. I'm gonna get pushed. I'm looking straight ahead. Coming in on the left. Look to the right. Need to turn. Slow down. Do my shoulder check. How easy was that? Did I hit a cone? Sometimes I don't know. Was it good? All right. This is literally about teaching you that wherever you look, that's where your bike's gonna go. Okay? If your bike doesn't go and your head is looking that way, your brain is not connecting with your head. So shut the brain off, or as Jamie likes to say, be dumb. Shut the brain off, turn your eyes, turn your head, trust the process and that the bike is gonna go that way. When we get to the end of the exercise, we are gonna get off the bikes, push them to this is the last pushing exercise, I promise. So we are gonna get off the bike, push them to the back of the row. We'll get the first two people in line to get on their bikes, and then the next two people will push the first two people and then get on your bike to go. Does that make sense? Then maybe we can go a little bit faster because we'll have more pushers. Again, if you're pushing, don't steer them. Let the bike do what it wants to do. No questions? Super easy? Alright. We'll be here. Don't go until an instructor tells you to go. So you're on and done.
What do you think so far?
I am. Just so you can see my eyes. I don't know. I was saying to myself, I struggled when I was learning to ride bicycle. And now I'm riding a bike, a motorcycle. I don't know, I should have practiced my bicycle first before I
It's funny you say that because that's what actually Dan asked me. He asked me if you ever rode a bike. Or no, one of the instructors asked me if you ever rode a bicycle before. And it's like, I don't know. I think she has. And he goes, oh, no, because some people do.
Oh.
All right. So anyhow,
That makes sense because I'm struggling.
you're struggling because you're new and you're learning, not because you haven't learned.
Which one asked you? That one over there?
Yeah, he didn't make a point of it. We were just talking. He was asking that, oh, I noticed he lots of stickers on the back of him. He's like, do you ride? I said, yeah. And I found out well, and then he's asking, that this is your first time, and I said, yeah. And I said, well, then she goes, oh, yeah. So she's trying. I said, she's obviously nervous. I said, yeah, have you ever, and that's what I said, just for reference, has she ever ridden a bicycle before? Because a lot of people ride bicycles before they come here purposely to get used to the motion. But anyway, any last words?
Chris, you mean the battery. Let me see.
All right, Michelle.
So there's that left, take on the very left there, the first one. Get close to that on the left-hand side.
Hey, if you want to get your steps in, but we're going to do plenty of walking today. Eyes up, turn your head, look over here. Here.
It's so weird going slow. All the way through or just? Okay, let's go fast, right? Yeah, I started looking at it.
Did I create it? Then you had to make an adjustment.
Yep, no problem.
All right, one more each. Turn.
Engine's running.
Not yet.
Not
Takes
yet?
a while. Takes a while. Mornings are boring. From a motorcycle. Boring. But when you're learning, it's not. Just from our perspective. That's why it's good. It's different people every time.
Isn't it?
That's what keeps me entertained.
Of course.
Oh, put up the brake. Oh, no, it is. That was hard to push. He was braking the whole time he was doing that.
But it still did
It
good.
wasn't very nice to his engine. Right. Bigger. Yep. Yep.
All right, honey, you're up.
You will see a difference. 100%. Even at the beginning of the year, I'll ride before I teach. And then I teach, and then I go back out, and that ride's smooth. Just a little reminder.
Start a bit closer.
Well, because
You're doing a good job trying to steer for her. But she's good. Nice. Slow break. All right, give her a push. Okay, when you're starting, you're looking straight up over the fence. All right, line up and over the fence. Now you're going to turn your head. Up, it in your head. Right? Do a nice slow push. Straighten out the base. Got it? Alright, ready? Hold the brake. Up and down. Look straight ahead. Eyes up. Let it go. Hey! Right hand. It happened!
I know my knee came out.
How you guys doing?
You run these two through and then.
Okay. Anybody else want to go?
Remember the lecture? Other than the sweet, sugary sound of Kevin's voice. There was an acronym during the lecture, T-Gloss. It's important to check over your bike from time to time. Even things like you leave it and go into the grocery store and you come back out. As motorcyclists, we're pretty vulnerable, and our bikes are vulnerable too. It's not uncommon to park it somewhere and come back out and see that people are taking pictures with it or whatever, especially in popular areas. There's been instructors that have been to Niagara Falls and come out and there's like a family of 10 like all around their bike messing with things, right? You need to be checking this stuff.
They even put some child on the bike sometimes.
Yeah, right. And as a mechanic, one of my favorite things to hear is, well, it worked yesterday. It's like, yeah, that's how stuff goes. It works, and then eventually it doesn't. And if you're not checking it, you're not going to know that, right? So it helps to have a process, right, to go through. If you work in a circle around your bike, that's kind of a good way of making sure that you check everything, because then when it's right in front of you, you have it in front of mind, right?
The instructor demonstrated how to check the tires, pressures, spokes, and wheels. So this is under the T for the T-clocks abbreviation. So we have to make sure that if there's any issue with the tires, we are aware of it before we move off. The spokes, we check all the different spokes to see if anything is loose, because that can cause obstruction. We ensure that the wheels are well equipped for us to get on our next journey. So even if you get inside the store and you come out, we have to make sure that we do a quick check to see what's happening. In terms of the chains or the belts, so some bikes have chains, some have belts. So we have to ensure that the belts that rotates the tires are checked. Any tensions, it must be checked as well. Making sure that the wheels are able to move from side to side. So we have to turn the steering once sitting on the bike to make sure that the bike is moving in the direction that we want it to go. We have to ensure that all the lights are working, because on a motorcycle, lights are very important to ensure that as we signal, the motorists around us are able to identify what exactly we intend to do while riding. The throttle that is located on the right handlebar, make sure it's working properly. If it doesn't return properly to the original position once you're riding, that's going to be an issue, and I had an experience with that on the motorcycle. To test the suspension, make sure you bounce your body up and down. Make sure it feels right when you're sitting on the bike. Make sure the brakes both are functioning properly, both the right hand brake and the right foot brake. In the training, the kind of bike that we had were bikes that required to be warmed up before we start riding. We learned what is called a cold start that is required in order to ensure that the bike will start. So we had to use a choke in that sense. But first, the instructor showed us where the fuel valve is located and how to determine whether it's on or off. So when the knob or the lever is turned down on the bike that he was using, it shows that fuel is going to the engine. And if it's to the left, which is horizontally placed, it means that the fuel is no longer going to the engine, so the fuel valve will be off. If we turn the valve upward, it means that there is reserve coming through to the engine, because it means that you're almost out of fuel. Learning these different positions and location of the different controls are very important, because while you're on a motorcycle, you can't look down to see where they are. So it is important for us to learn these controls before you get on the bike. And if you get a brand new bike, you have to make sure you learn all these controls before you start riding. At the training, we learned how to kickstart those bikes that we were using, and there's a difference between kickstart versus key start. The kickstart, you have to pretty much use your right leg to slam the kickstart stick to ensure that it starts the bike properly. And once the bike starts, then you have to put the lever back into the original position. Sometimes people would kickstart the bike and still wanting to move off, which was detrimental to the bike as well. It's similar to the kickstand. So you have the kickstart stand, and you also have the kickstand that the bike sits on. So you have to know the difference between the two. So the bike that he was using for demonstration, he located where the choke was, which was towards the front between the handlebars, and you had to release it in order to warm up the bike. If we did not release it and try to start the bike, it won't start, because the choke helps to keep the engine warm while it runs. And then once the bike is running, it will get to the temperature that it needs to get to, and then it will start. So that was necessary for us to understand before we actually even start the bike with the kickstand. So in this section, the demonstration of how to kickstart with the choke on, ensuring that the fuel valve is down, that's the first thing that we had to pay attention to. Another thing that the instructor instructed us is that whenever we're not using the bike, make sure we turn the valve off so that there's not too much liquid released into the engine or gas being wasted, because if we are not using the bike and the gas is wasted, then if you go back to use the bike, then you're not going to be able to move it because there's no fuel going in. And also when you're starting the bike, make sure the fuel valve is in the on position, otherwise the bike after a while will stall while you're riding. And that happened to me, of course, because everything is new.
Find resistance and just one swift follow through. Hear how the engine's driving high? That's okay, you're not hurting anything. It needs to do that to warm up. Right?
It is very important to listen to the engine to determine when to turn off the choke. That means the engine is warmed up. Different bikes are different, so it is important to learn the controls and get the motorcycle ready. Learn where the kill switch is. Hold it down till the engine shuts off. learn to use it and know where it is. This was so important because especially if you are riding and you do not know where the kill switch is in case of an emergency, this could be so detrimental. So this was a key lesson that we needed to learn. And even when we turn off the bike, we usually use the kill switch instead of shutting the engine off. Especially for the kickstart bikes, we didn't really have keys to start the engine, so the only way to turn off the bike was to use the kill switch. This was a learning opportunity to understand how to be safe when riding and use the kill switch only when necessary. So if there is a situation, as I said before, if there's an emergency, the kill switch can help in the case of sudden need to stop the bike or to get out of a situation that could be harmful to
see if I just stab
the
it,
rider.
it doesn't really work.
So if anybody is
You
watching
need to
this
hold it
video
down
and they
until the
don't
engine
know
shuts
where
off.
the kill switch is, as they say, a lot of bike riders, they don't even know where the
like
kill
to not
switch is.
think
They
that
never
this is
use
as
it, or
important
they'll
as
say
it
they
is.
don't use it at
Especially on
all.
your
Then
street
they
bike where
need
it's
to learn
toggled.
how
Some
to
people
use it
will never
and where
touch
it
it
is.
the whole time they own their bike. Learn to use it, learn to know where it is, because when you need it, usually all kinds of other stuff is going on, and if you haven't been practicing using it and knowing where it is, it's not what you're going to think of, and the problem that you're trying to get out of is now going to be worse because you forgot about that. So that's 5-point check and cold start. We are gonna go to our bikes, gear on, done up, do a check over, do a cold start, let it warm up a little bit, shut it off, do it again, and then come back and Jamie will talk to us about gears. Anything to add?
Just one thing where Tim wasn't on it, but Tim's a mechanic and he does all of this multiple times a day. When you're doing your cold start, you sit on the bike, kickstand up, get used to where everything is, kicking it or starting it while you're sitting there. And then if that all becomes easy, learn where your parts are without looking down. Tim didn't look down, or if he'd been sitting on it, he wouldn't have had to look down, right? You don't want to be looking for where your kill switch is while you're doing 80 and your throttle's stuck. So keep your eyes up. It's okay to look at it the first time that you're on it. Make sure you know where everything is. But when you're sitting on it, touch the tank, follow it down, find that gas valve without looking down at it. Because when you need to put it in reserve and you're doing 80, the last thing we want to do on our bikes is look for it, right? Because where does the bike go? Goes where we look. That's all I wanted to add. Was that the same or different to yours? All right. So gear on, done up, like Tim said. Do your 5-point checks, get it started. Now we get to see what they sound like. And I'll come help you find your choke. And your kickstarts and your... I put you the wrong way around, sorry.
It's fine. No worries.
I'm trying to help.
So the shift lever is right here, okay? It's right this way. So you need to think about ahead. It's not like a car. Has any one of you already drove a standard car? Yep. So it's not like a standard car where you can shift gear from the first to directly to the third or fourth. You have to go through all the gears on a motorcycle. So if you...
In this lesson, the instructor demonstrated how to recognize each gear, to find it through gear 1, which is down, neutral, which is up from gear 1, then up 1 gear is gear number 2, then up the next gear is gear number 3, then up another gear is 4, and 5 if the motorcycle has 5 gears. The instructor indicated that neutral can be easily recognized when the motorcycle can move forward and backward. So that will be an understanding that you're in neutral. If you cannot move the bike forward and backward, it's in a gear. And so because the first gear is the last gear down, it can be in the first gear. So it's always best to go all the way down to the first gear and then up one, and then you'll get right back to neutral. So that is how you can determine which gear you're in. When you're in the first gear, there's a resistance to the wheels. So that is when you know that you're not in neutral. So once you cannot move the wheels back and forth, then it means that you're either in first gear or second gear, depending on how much you click down or up in order to find the gears. So when you go through the gears, we have to make sure that you click all the way down to neutral when you can move back and forth, and keep moving back and forth while you're switching between the gears, so you'll know exactly when you get to neutral. Another way to identify when you're changing the gears is when you can hear the click each time you go through each gear. And it is very important, especially if you're riding for the first time a new bike that you've never ridden before. You have to ensure that you know how many gears that the bike has, and ensure you know what it sounds like when you're switching through the gears, and practice before you actually go for a ride. Because if you don't know the number of gears and you don't know how to identify each gear as well as when it's in neutral, then you will not be safe on the road. So in the event that you're not sure which gear it is in, it's always best to go all the way down to first, back to neutral, and start all over. And then you will know exactly which gear that you're in.
What we meant this morning about quirks. Every bike has its quirks. That's why you're going to learn where they all are. She is not using that lever. If you need to get it into a gear and you're pressing on it and it's not moving, you got to move the bike, because you got to move that gear shift to get the cogs working together, right? That's how I say it in my brain anyway.
Notice also that Jamie's not like hammering on that shifter. There's no need for that whatsoever. If it's not slipping into gear, you need to rock the bike back and forward. Putting more force on the lever is not the answer, right?
We also want you to do it without looking at anything, right? Because everybody inevitably looks at their handlebars the second they try to stay or try to change a gear, but we don't do that on the street because the bike goes where we live, right?
But it's a muscle memory. If you like, more you're gonna do that over and over and over, then automatically your foot will find anyway the lever. Automatically, you don't have to look at this. Automatically, you know exactly where it is. But you need to do it over and over.
So you're gonna get on your bike, gear on, done up, sitting on it, rock it back and forth, find all the gears, down into first, up, count them. We're gonna ask you how many gears there are, and eyes up. Don't want want to see anyone looking down. All right?
Without the bike started, obviously, right? Okay.
Yeah, this exercise with the bikes off.
Yeah. Last one. All right, off you go.
Okay, it's fine. Then you got it. You know, it's always you're not sure. You go down and then it's usually then you're sure first. Yeah. There's no other way. Just that. Okay? Good. You got it. Dodgeball was a dodgeball unless you got bruised. Like,
So yeah, now we auto toggle a little, but my opinion of it don't go. Don't print that. It's not warm.
Already.
Come over here so you can hear Alex.
So everybody remember from the lecture the moving plates, the spinning plates? They were talking about the clutch. We're going to be learning the last lever, the last control on the bike, which is this one right here. This is one of, if not the most important control that you have, because this is what controls the bike's ability to move. Right? So those spinning plates from the lecture, we have our engine that spins and makes power, and we have our rear wheel, and we need a way to connect them, which is those two plates. So this lever controls those plates. So with the lever in, the plates are separated, and the engine can do whatever it wants, and the wheel's not going to go anywhere. When we let that clutch out, we slowly bring those plates together, and they move. The one plate moves the other, and we can move the rear wheel. This is not an on-off switch, right? There's a range of moving those plates closer together and further apart, right? That's called the friction zone. Mastering the friction zone is one of the most important skills for mastering the motorcycle at all levels. Like even advanced riding will rely on that friction zone.
All those people that duck walk their bikes, they don't have control of that friction zone. You don't have to duck walk your bike anywhere.
You know what is the duck walk, right?
I sure do.
When you're walking the bike anywhere and it's running, see somebody doing that on the street, they are not an experienced rider.
I'm pretty sure the Harley, if you buy a Harley, the owner's manual talks about duck walking.
Because they all do it, is that what you're saying?
It's like a 10 Commandments book. It says, "Thou shalt not." That's how it starts.
Our Harley probably says you should.
Yeah.
You don't want to drop a Harley. So.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. It's downfall to you being a mechanic. Fixing your bike.
then you might hurt yourself.
So very, very, very slow.
So very, very, very slowly, like very slow until you feel the motorcycle move forward. Then you put it back in and it stops. You release it a bit and you put it back in and it stops. On the next exercise, it's important that you stay in friction zone. We'll see right away if you don't use it because you will completely release the clutch, which is not the friction zone. Friction zone is you keep the clutch in and you play with it, meaning that you release it a bit to go further and you pull it back in to slow down. And you stay in friction zone, okay?
So it's like that.
The instructors advise us to ride out the clutch, which is very essential, and never let it go when you're in first gear. So once you start off, make sure that the clutch is not released too much and keep eyes up and keep the balance while moving off. While using the throttle and holding the clutch simultaneously, the throttle will get very noisy, but the bike won't move fast unless the clutch is released. So slowly releasing the clutch is required while moving off in the friction zone. Mastering the friction zone helps to practice squeezing and releasing the clutch to maintain the desired speed. If the throttle gets too noisy and overwhelming, it was advised to pull back the throttle and keep the clutch back to a calming position. And then when you're feeling more relaxed and the noise has been reduced, then release when ready to accelerate. And then the clutch will also be released simultaneously. And while you're moving off, just listen for that sound and even the pull, because once you release the clutch and release the throttle at the same time while moving off, you'll feel a desired push. And I noticed this many times while I was training. At first, it was very difficult for me to understand the two, how to navigate between the clutch and the throttle in between moving off. And one of the things they did say that when you're driving a standard car, you might think it's the same idea, but it's absolutely not similar at all. If you're driving a standard vehicle, it is not the same as when you are starting out using the throttle and the clutch on the motorcycle. So it is very different on the motorcycle. So this is something different that needs to be addressed when you're learning to ride the motorcycle. You have to master the friction zone and you have to master releasing the clutch a little bit at a time while using the throttle on the right arm. So both arms are working at the same time. It's very important to understand what you're doing when you're utilizing the controls. So in terms of the throttle versus the brake, the handbrake that is, you can't use the throttle and the handbrake at the same time, obviously. And so this is why they were instrumentally placed next to each other. And that's the reason why the wrist motion is so important, because if your wrist has a certain position, then you will not be able to brake properly at the same time while riding. So it is important to maintain a good hand position on the throttle and on the brake if necessary. And as I said, you cannot use the throttle and the brake at the same time. So that's why the hand position is so important. Also, the fact that when you're changing gears, knowing how to maneuver between the throttle and the clutch at the same time is also so important. Not giving it too much throttle as you're changing gears, but just steady on the throttle. There is a way to just keep your hand steady on the throttle so that you do not accelerate too fast, especially when just moving off. So that was one of the dynamics that I was having trouble with, and I was not understanding how to control them. And in terms of practice, this is why practice makes perfect, because as you go through practicing in the friction zone, listening to the engine, listening to what's happening as you hold on to the throttle, as you keep it at a certain point, then you will kind of figure it out as you're riding. So, and each bike is different, because some bike, like the throttle is easier to move, some you have to give it a little bit more, and even squeezing the clutch, it depends on the bike too. So it all depends on how the bike operates. So it is very important to understand these controls and practice, especially if you get a new bike. Make sure you practice in a parking lot. Do not just go on the street, is what we were encouraged not to do, because if you do that, then you're going to kill yourself or kill someone. So these are some of the dynamics that we learned as we were going through. And as you can see in the video, I was having so much trouble, so much challenges. I didn't even know what I was doing to some extent. But eventually, I had to be set aside in order to understand how to move around and how to understand the controls and how to actually give it all that you need. And one of the key things that I learned eventually as I was going through my training is giving it more throttle. I was scared because the engine was so loud and the throttle makes so much noise as you release it too much, and I wasn't understanding that. So that was one of my downfalls. And when I figured it out, how to release it without falling or even getting all crazy on the bike, then that was when I figured how to control the bike, because that was one of the things that is required. Make sure you understand how to control the bike, how to control the throttle, how to control the brakes, how to control the clutch, how to control changing the gears. And you will see more as I went through my training. And this is something that I would suggest anybody who wants to learn how to ride a motorcycle. I recommend going to a course, because if I did not go to the course, I would not have understood how to maneuver myself on a daily basis. Because we had first we had a session online where we were instructed a lot about the things that we would have been doing on the second day. And then the second day, you can see in the video what I'm doing and how I'm struggling, even though I did get the theory. But on the third day, you will see that as we went through the course, how each step was required to take you to the next challenge or the next exercise. So it was very, very hard, but this is where practice makes perfect, and this is where trainers are helpful in navigating through the process and helping you to get through it as well. And the patience that they had was tremendous. You can see throughout the video how much they waited, how much they were there with you. Yes, they're getting paid to do it, but also sometimes when you're getting services for things that you're paying for, you don't really get that kind of help that you are looking for. Sometimes that happens, but in this case, that was not my experience. It was absolutely very, very helpful. It was so helpful. I look back at the videos and I'm thinking to myself, they were really patient. And also you can see the time that is going as I'm waiting, as I'm not moving, as I'm getting scared, as I'm feeling fearful. All of that are taking into consideration that they literally waited on me until I was able to get it right. So that, I said, it was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me in terms of me deciding to ride.
How does it feel to be on a bike all by yourself and running?
I'm not 100% confident. I'm scared.
Well, you shouldn't be 100% confident. You haven't done anything yet. You haven't learned anything yet. You'll be 100% confident when you leave.
Yeah.
All right.
And also the fact that, the people were also very well learned. They told us a lot of things that I probably would not have known if I had just got someone to just show me how to ride a bike. For sure, this was key for me. So I would definitely recommend anyone who is looking for learning to ride a bike, and even if it's not something that you want to do for the rest of your life, but at least you can say you did it. You overcome your fears, you overcome the challenge, you overcome something that you were afraid of. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do, to overcome my fear. And you will see the rest of the video as you move on. So again, I really appreciate these people And if I didn't mention it, and if you're watching part of the video and not hearing it, it is Canadian Motorcycle Association, and these are the different people that are with us. I don't remember their names, but you can always go online and find them, and whoever the trainers will be on the day of your course, those are the ones you're going to get. So it doesn't really matter who they are, which ones they are. And I'm sure the way these guys were very helpful and patient with me, I'm sure they are doing the same thing for each person who come in, and they have a very high success rate in terms of passing. So that's what I wanted to share in this video.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. All you focus on is that There you go. Eyes up, look ahead. Look where you want to go. Clutch in. You did it. Yeah. There you go. Keep it moving. Clutch in. And shut the bike off. Feeling quick.
Great job, babe. You got it. All it takes you just to get you in that first time, and then you got more comfortable as you went. Practice makes perfect. Good job.
Make sure that lever gets pulled back in.
You're doing good, babe.
Clutch in. First gear. Ready position.
Don't forget your kickstand.
Kickstand up. There you go. Ball. Shoulder check. Nice. Now friction zone. Eyes up. Look ahead. Put the throttle up, make that type of noise, and the tight control. That's all it takes. Alright, see it again. Eyes up, look ahead. So you gotta take your hand off the brake. There you go. Friction zone, eyes up, look ahead. Speed up. Good, Jake. Heel switch. hovering over the brake lever, you're going to grab it. You don't want to grab anything. Smooth hands and hands. Right? You see the playground? How many swings are on the playground? Ladder check.
is important to take a break. It's a lot, and you need that time to shake it all out of your head. So shut it down. We'll send you guys.
All right, this is where the magic happens. Everyone's going to be riding their bikes. Everyone's getting ready, tying it up. Michelle's down there at the end. Way down there at the end. You can see it. Way up by there. There you go, there. That's doing good. All right, she's down there. Here it goes.
I think my dear wife is struggling, Jamie. It's to be expected. I don't think she's put together the throttle knowing that she can do it. Every time I see her move, the bike is just idling. So what's the...
We're making progress.
Yeah, I can see that. Took a bit.
She has the ability. It's just
Is it confidence or just being able to compile all things together and kind of make sense of what the things you're telling you?
a bit of both.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's a skill that you need to practice and it needs to be
Mm-hmm.
so I can talk about myself.
Like she's already like 200% ahead of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately. Like as soon as it's showing out there, I was like, okay. Because I watched over there and I thought, okay, well, see what's going on there. Obviously, you're having a powwow with her and she's, trying to talk to her and explain to her things or whatever, and she's just trying to piece them together. But
Yeah. And I gave her enough space to try and practice and learn.
yeah, I seen that. That's good for you.
She started making bigger and bigger steps.
Yeah. It's kind of like baby stuff, and I say that so cliche, but once you go, because I remember my oldest son when he first started to walk, and he went like did like this, and then he looked at me in like total dismay, and like I'm doing it,
Yeah.
I'm doing it, and then once that was it, that was it. Same thing. So it's kind of like saying once you get the feel of the motorcycle, that it actually can do the work for you, because you're trying to drive the motorcycle when you first start, as opposed to allowing it to do what it can, in the sense where you're the one.
It's funny, one of the keys to smoothness is intervening into the little process.
Exactly. Hence what I said. Let the bike just let it stop trying to, in essence, trying to ride the bike. Let the bike just take you where you want it to go. Like that. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I think you get what I mean. And not force the situation. You're doing good.
More like arms. Yeah. Nice and cool. It was rainbow colors, right?
You're doing good, Jan. You're doing good.
Yeah, it's like
You're doing great, babe. Wow. I know you can hear my voice, babe, but I tell you, since you started riding around, you're not even the same rider you were an hour ago. Just going back and forth with Tim, you're doing a great job. When you went around the track now 3 times, haven't stopped the bike, so good to see you. Slow and steady gets the job done, not for too long. Good job. Obviously, you're getting more confident and more comfortable, and that's exactly what you want. You're funny. When you get your license, honey, I'll put a sign out. Stay off the sidewalk. What if that was two old ladies? Come on, babe. Follow on. Michelle, let's go. It's all right. Put the clutch in. Start it. Give it a hard start. Give it a hard kick. There you go. Good job, baby. Good job. Wow. I'm impressed. See that turn? That was pretty good. Great job, hon. When you get down there, turn your head. Watch her. There you go. Look at her. Great job. There you go. Good job. She's not the same rider she was even an hour ago. She's coming alive. You're doing good. Just watch her when you do your turn. Watch her when you do your turn. Turn your head. Turn the bike. You're doing good. Go. There you go. Good job. Great job, babe. Doing awesome. I bet you $5 you could follow the pack now.
Probably. I don't want to pressure her.
No. I'm just saying, at the speed she's
okay.
going and the fact that she's articulating her head,
Yep.
she's doing great.
Moving. So for tomorrow, you didn't plan on doing the same thing, right? Being on the lot.
Yeah, of course.
We're going a lot faster tomorrow.
I don't have to say it.
Okay. All right.
I literally took my time off work to come here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I drive trucks already.
Oh, did
so I had to
you?
take a whole trip off.
Okay.
Just to be here for it. Just to support her. She needs my support for this. But I don't have to. If I'm in your way, I'm more than happy to stay over there. It's not a
For
problem.
tomorrow, yes,
Yeah.
because we have all the curves that come out here.
I'll stay over there
We
for the
use
fence. It's
we
all
use
good.
all of the lot
Yeah.
tomorrow.
It's all good.
Just to prepare you, so you know
No, it's fine.
where you'll be tomorrow. I won't be sticking you in a corner.
No, it's all good.
Well, I will be, but
Technically,
nothing
don't worry
personally.
about it. It's all good. Great job, baby. Make sure to turn that head. Turn your head. Don't just turn your head, look where you want to go. There you go. You didn't turn your head down there. Make sure you turn your head when you're getting ready to turn. There you go. Good job.